Hello there, welcome into the latest edition of the SAU Baseball Coaches Show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside head baseball coach Steve Browning. And coach, another weekend of the season in the books, Great American Conference play. Somehow, some way, 3 games got played. And I think if anybody took a look at the weather we had, I mean, obviously the winter weather that came in last week, school was out pretty much the entire week. But really credit to you, your staff, and your players and everybody that helped out to get the field playable to get in the 3-game series, even though against Southwestern Oklahoma, even though the weather still was very cold, not prototypical baseball weather, probably not fun for anybody out in the elements with it, but still able to get in the 3 games. So talk a little bit right there about the importance of getting the field ready to get in 3 games, even despite the weather the way it was, and even during the series.
Right. Well, first of all, I mean, conference games, we all know, they're the most important games of the year, and when you don't have a makeup policy, and you have a window that you have to play the games, it's I think it's a great testament to our team, to our staff, and even Southwestern for being willing to play in the conditions we played in, just because we all understand how important those games are. And at the end of the day, we want to be known as one of those teams and that are going to play, and we're not going to let weather, unless it's unplayable conditions, we're not going to let a little bit of cold or a little bit of snow keep us from playing the ball games. Win, lose, or tie, whatever you want to call it. We feel like those are the most important games of the year. We feel like our guys are limited. They only get 50 games a year as it is, and it's our job to put them out there and let them play. They have goals they want to accomplish, and we have goals as a team we want to accomplish. And if you don't play the games, those you don't have a chance at those goals. So that's kind of the reason why when people say, "Man, why don't you just get rid of those games? Don't play them." There's more that goes into it than just playing the games. And so it was cold. And it's the first time that I've had to get snow off a field to play, and so it was something new for us. But at the end of the day, again, those games are the most important games. We want to make sure we get them in.
Yeah, so got in all 3 games. Don't wind up winning the series, taking the final game behind the impressive shutout by Landon Simpson, so salvaging a game there. But all around for both teams, offense was really kind of hard to come by. Maybe weather, whatever, but still one of the bright spots of your team this year has been pitching, and that was evident again this weekend. You go 3 games, I think you only use 4 pitchers. Right. A couple of them, you go through the doubleheader and you use just 2 pitchers, right. Each starter going the distance. So kind of talk about those efforts and what you continue to see out of the mound from your pitching staff.
It's when we talked about it going into it on a weekend like that, when that weather's like it is, you're prototypically not going to see a whole lot of offense, and you have to be able to pitch it, you got to be able to play defense, and then execute on offense. And the difference is I thought we pitched it really well. We didn't play defense at times when we needed to, and we didn't execute at times when we needed to, and that I thought was a difference in the series. Hats off to Southwestern. I mean, they did, and they pitched it also, and they played good defense, and they had a little more timely hits. But at the end of the weekend, still saw some really good things out of our pitching staff. Like I said, anytime you can go with 3-game series and only use 4 pitchers, and really the only guy we went to in relief there, Johnson, I think pitched an inning and a third or something. So, we're seeing some really good things out of our starting pitching. We've got to start getting some midweek games in here this next week, so we can get something, because our staff we've got a really good staff, and we've got some guys we've got to get on the mound, and but we're not going to pull a starting pitcher out in the 5th just to make sure we're getting other guys working in a conference game. And so right now we feel good where we stand pitching wise, and hopefully we'll work out some kinks and offensively and defensively, and kind of get everything going in the right direction.
You're 4-2 in conference play through the first 2 weekends. This upcoming weekend, going to Alva, Oklahoma, taking on Northwestern Oklahoma. It's the furthest trip that you're going to take in conference play. Haven't had to go there yet, right, in the Great American Conference for some circumstances in years past. So talk a little bit about kind of just making that long trip and going to play at Northwestern.
Well, I don't know that it's ever fun to travel like we're about to travel, and we joke because a couple years ago when we were supposed to go to Northwestern, they had snow and they ended up coming to our place, and we were kind of joking that maybe that would happen again this year, but it looks like they're going to have better weather than we're going to have on the weekend. And so it's it's the only place I haven't been, and we're looking forward to loading up and going up there, and it again be road tested. At the end of the year, our first goal is to be in the conference tournament, obviously, and Alva is just north of Enid, so we'll get a chance to taste what that bus ride is going to be like before we ever make the trip to Enid, hopefully. And so we'll load up and go up there like everybody else in the conference has to, and hopefully put a good product on the field for 3 games.
We appreciate it very much for your time. Again, that's head baseball coach Steve Browning. He and his mule riders set to begin again the long trek up to Alva, Oklahoma to take on Northwestern Oklahoma. It's a 3-game GAC series. They're going to have the doubleheader first on Friday, then play a single game on Saturday. Be sure to check muleriderathletics.com for your full previews and all your live links if not surprisingly, if you're not going to make the trip up to Alva. Coach, we appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thank you.